What is up, guys? I am the one and only Eagle Double T, and in this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 worst joysticks on a video game controller ever. So without further ado, let's begin. Coming in at number 5, we have the Xbox One and Xbox One S controllers. Now, I really love the Xbox One joysticks. They're really nice. They're grippy. They're just very nice feeling joysticks, and I really like them. But the reason I put them on this list is because of the fact that these controllers, the joysticks are built worse than the N64's joysticks. It's that bad. I have gone through 4 Xbox One S controllers in the 7 months I've had my Xbox One S. They just flat out stop working. Like, I got this controller not even a week ago because my previous blue controller stopped working. It's really bad. Like, and it's not just me. You can go look it up. This is a very common problem. And I love the joysticks, but they're just built so poorly. Coming in at number 4, we have the PlayStation DualShock 4 controller joysticks. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me on this one, and I don't expect them to, but I think it deserves an entry on this list. Mainly because the joysticks have such a huge dead zone in the middle, and they're so inaccurate. So inaccurate, and with such a big dead zone, that if I'm playing a game like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto, it's going to definitely affect how I play, because there's just such a big dead zone in the middle, and they're just so inaccurate. Now, I don't know if this is just with this one or the other ones that I've played with, but for me, it's definitely how it works out. Coming in at number 3, we have the GameCube controller's C-Stick. Now, the main joystick on the GameCube controller is fantastic. It's absolutely wonderful, nice and grippy, very good. The C-Stick, however, I think it's okay. I really don't have a problem with it myself. But I can see why some people don't like it, because it's considerably smaller. I mean, obviously. It's not as grippy, and why they did this, I'm really not sure. Now, I don't really mind it as much because most Nintendo games make little or no use of the C-Stick, so I really don't mind it. However, I can definitely understand where people are coming from when they say they don't like the C-Stick. Coming in at number 2, we have the Sega Dreamcast controller. Now, some people love this controller, some people hate it. I think it's a pretty good controller. However, I think everyone can agree on the fact that this is one of the worst joysticks ever. For one, it sits way too high on the controller, because if I put my finger here on the trigger, and I rest it naturally, I have to reach really far up to hit the joystick, which makes it uncomfortable to use, which is why I just usually use the D-pad, honestly. It has these little bumps on it to try and give it grip, but it doesn't do anything. It's plastic. It feels really bad. The whole joystick kind of wants to rotate. It is just an awful, awful joystick, and I think that everyone can agree on that. Even if you love the controller, you gotta admit, it is one of the worst joysticks ever. Coming in at number 1, the first mainstream controller to use the joystick, the N64 controller. Now, contrary to popular belief, Nintendo did not invent the joystick. However, they were one of the first people to utilize it in a controller. So, I'll cut it some slack because, you know, it is one of the first joysticks after all. However, that doesn't change the fact that this is probably the worst joystick in human history. It's pretty similar to an arcade machine joystick, in a sense. It's very long with, you know, a plastic piece on the end that isn't grippy at all. Your finger slides right off. I've never had a problem with the build quality. However, a lot of people do report their N64 joysticks just falling apart. So, understandably, this is one of the worst joysticks ever. Before I end the video, I would like to give an honorable mention to the PlayStation Vita for having what is probably the world's smallest joysticks. I decided not to put it on the list because mainly it is a handheld, and I really wanted to base it on actual controllers, but it's not meant for human hands. It's made for squirrels and rat people. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more video game related content, and don't forget to comment down below what you think is the worst video game controller joystick ever. I am the one and only Eagle Double T signing off. Goodbye. Coming in at number 4, we have the PlayStation DualShock 4 controller joysticks. Now, a lot of people are not going to agree with me on this one, and I don't expect them to. However, I think it deserved a spot on this list, because based on my experiences, this controller, the joysticks have huge dead zones in them, and they're just so inaccurate. If I'm playing a game like Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, Grand Theft Auto, there's just such a big dead zone in the joysticks, and they're just so inaccurate that it's really going to affect my gameplay. So that's why I put it as number 4.